It's great to be here and talk about Kahawa.
Yeah, we want to talk about premium coffee.
Yes.
And just the niche that you have carved out. It's such a really interesting category, given that the way that people consume it around the world, it's different in many parts of the world, but also the way that you've been able to partner with these local co-ops for this socially responsible product.
Yeah.
How did you do it?
Yeah, so I had a background having grown up on a coffee farm in Kenya. So my grandfather started a farm, and I'm third-generation coffee farmer. So I immigrated to the United States, and so the culture of coffee. But there wasn't a brand, like an African brand, that was essentially building the story about coffee, because coffee is originally from East Africa, and we produce some of the best coffee in the world. And so Kahawa 1893 is that brand that's really bringing East African coffee and the stories of the growers with it to the global world.
You know, coffee, there's like so many choices today. Tell us what makes Kenyan coffee so special and so particular.
Yeah, so Kenyan coffee is considered the best in the world by coffee connoisseurs. And the reason for that is because it's a very special microclimate. So we have Mount Kenya, it's right on the equator, and we have amazing soil. So all these factors converge to produce some of the best coffee, but also the farmers do an amazing job of making sure they're picking only the ripe cherries, and the way that they process. Kenya has a special processing. It's called double washed. So they ferment the coffee for 24 hours, wash it again twice, which is unique. It's a Kenyan unique method called double washed. Produces some of the cleanest coffee that any coffee connoisseur, when they taste them on the table, they're able to tell that they're Kenyan coffee.
I didn't know if you know, but this one is a bit of a coffee connoisseur.
Okay.
Yeah, Carol warned me this morning. She's like, "You're not going to like the coffee that they have on offer."
I will drink just about anything, but this one I'm like, no.
But Carol actually brings up a good point, which is about educating the consumer.
Yeah.
And does the consumer realize that the Kenyan coffee story and how good that coffee is?
I've been in Costa Rica, and they're like, this is the best coffee. So, help us.
Yeah, so, that's part of the reason we have the brand with Kahawa. We're really educating the consumers. And one easy way is when they taste the coffee, they can really taste the difference. So one distinct thing about Kenyan coffee is because it's grown at such high altitudes, because it's mountainous, we can roast it really dark without burning it. So you know how people say, burnt coffee, right?
Yes.
So our darkest roast, which is we call our Serengeti blend, when people taste it, they're like, oh my God, this tastes very rich and dark, but it's not burnt. So that's how you know that it's a very dense bean, because it also grows for 9 months out of a year. So you get a very super high quality. People don't always know, of course, because, Kenya is a newer and smaller country for coffee production.
Right.
But once they taste it, they're able to tell the difference, yeah.
So there's one thing, your mission of providing a product, right?
Yes.
But you're also, it's giving back and helping your farmers. Tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing there.
Yeah, so essentially, one of the reasons I founded Kahawa was when I was growing up on the coffee farm in Kenya, I saw that a lot of the labor came from women. So up to 90% of farm labor in general for coffee comes from women, but they're not always compensated because coffee prices are always fluctuating. Sometimes they're too low. So I wanted to find a way to make sure that the women behind the coffee are compensated. So we have a QR code on the back of the bag that you can scan and tip farmers. And we have people love doing that.
So they give tips to farmers.
Yes. The way that you can tip your barista or server, you send in an extra $2, $10, and that money goes back to the women farmers.
Because it wouldn't be economically viable for you to raise the prices.
No, it wouldn't.
Then, account for what you think the tips should actually be.
Yes, yeah. So it's a sense of modern fair trade.
Yeah.
Because in the traditional fair trade, third party, the money goes back through the chain. But if we're able to send it direct and we match the tips, all that money goes back. So it's very, very effective.
You shared with us some of your story. You left out parts of your story too, which is that you left an investment banking career after graduating from Harvard Business School to start this coffee company. What was the moment that you were doing the investment banking work and you said, I want to go out on my own and do this thing that's completely different?
Yeah, so
go back to your roots, it sounds like.
Yeah. So I was doing, after business school, I started out my career in investment banking and I was covering consumer companies. So I got really interested in building my own brand, building something from scratch. And so coffee for me was a natural because I had grown up around it and I really saw that gap between bringing an African coffee brand to the market, but also being able to solve the equity, the gender and racial equity part of it. So it was a problem that I wanted to solve. And I saw that my skill set coming from banking, which has been amazing, to be able to utilize that as I build the company.
Talking to someone like you, it always, the perspective that you give us, because, looking at the notes that your team shared with us, the farmers who get the tips, I mean, they're doing that obviously for supplemental income, right?
Yes.
To help out their families.
Yeah.
But it's educational costs for schools, for girls in particular. That's what this money goes for.
Yeah. So one of the things I'm really proud of, and, last time I was in Kenya, I was able to witness is a scholarship program. So the women in the community have, decided to use the funds to make sure that the young women in the community stay in school. So sometimes, when a girl drops out of school, even for like something as little as 20 cents, it's harder for them to catch up, right? So this fund is really to make sure that the women, the young girls in school stay in school, and this fund helps them make sure that they don't drop out. And I mean, I used to be in that position, right? Mm-hmm. And so being able to help the next generation of women not, be picking coffee, but actually be in school so that they can develop the community has been such an amazing privilege to be able to do that.
Before we let you go, the distribution strategy for Kahawa 1893, what is it?
Yeah, so we're nationally distributed. We're Trader Joe's, Target, Sprouts, online. We're the first black and woman-owned coffee brand to have national distribution. Of course, we were on Shark Tank, and we also have a direct-to-consumer business. We actually do have offices in all over the New York area as well, and we're available online as well. So we're pretty diversified, and you can find us pretty much anywhere.